Hello, this is my video on understanding demand shocks with the ADAS model. So what is a demand shock? A demand shock is a sudden and unexpected change in the demand for goods and services in an economy. What that can look like is there are two types of demand shocks, positive and negative. Obviously, some positive shocks would include a government stimulus, technological booms, or consumer confidence rises. Some negative shocks would include a pandemic, financial crisis, and drops in consumer spending. The ADAS model, there are two curves on these models. First is the aggregate demand curve, which represents the total spending of the country, and the aggregate supply curve. There are two types of aggregate supply curves, the short run and the long run. In terms of the short run, it means that prices and wages are sticky, which ultimately means that these two factors don't change quickly to market conditions. The long run aggregate supply curve means that the output is at full employment, meaning the economy is running at max sustainable capacity. The economy is in a equilibrium when the aggregate supply curve and the short run and long run aggregate supply curve all intersect at one point, which would be here. I don't know if you see my mouse on the right side. A negative demand shock would ultimately shift the aggregate demand curve to the left, and some effects in the short run would include output would lower, as well as the prices. So because these two lower, uh, companies and stuff would have to lay off workers, leading to higher unemployment, meaning that the firms would ultimately have to cut production. And to combat this, with long run adjustments, wages and input prices would adjust downward over time. Ultimately, lowering costs would shift the short run aggregate supply curve to the right, restoring full employment output. So the new long run equilibrium would be around here, and so on and so forth. So some ultimate key takeaways for the supply curves and stuff would be in the short run, demand shock reduces output and increases unemployment. But to adjust for that in the long run, wages and prices are adjusted, bringing the economy back to full employment. Thank you.